Movement is medicine, movement's life, and like it should be a non-negotiable. I'm not saying you need to go all out crazy hard workouts 5, 6 days a week,
Right.
because I don't believe that you should do that. I do think you should strength train 3 times a week, if you can. And
Right.
if you can't, then twice,
Yep.
like you do what you can, you do 30 minutes, whatever it is that you can squeeze in, but it shouldn't be something that you give up. It should be something that you do make a priority daily. Welcome to Real Women, Real Results, the podcast where we go beyond the reps and dive into what it really takes to live a stronger, healthier, and more confident life. I'm your host, Jamie Ravel, women's fitness expert and founder of W3 Body Women's Training Gyms in Chicagoland. Each week, we'll bring you real stories, expert insights, and the tools you need to create real results. Let's get into it. Most women don't need more information. They need support, consistency, and a place where they can actually show up as they are and make progress. And that's exactly what we've learned after over a decade of coaching women in all seasons of life. Welcome back to Real Women, Real Results, the podcast that empowers women to get strong, stay consistent, and feel amazing in their bodies at any age. I'm your host, Jamie Ravel, and today's episode is one you definitely don't want to miss. So today I'm sitting down with Veronica Favela. She's from our Berwyn location. She's my ride or die over there. And she's been with us for 13 years, right?
Going on 17 in August.
Oh, shoot. I was wrong. 17.
A
Wow.
little bit, but it's going to be
Phenomenal.
18.
Your anniversary date is in my calendar.
Yes.
Every year it pops up.
17.
So that's awesome. Okay. My bad. 17. Wearing many hats as a coach, instructor, and manager. She's worked with hundreds of thousands, really. Thousands of women for sure. And is here to share the top 5 things that she's learned about what actually moves the needle in women's fitness and what doesn't. So, Veronica V, before we dive in, can you give listeners a quick glimpse into how you started with W3 and what's kept you here this long?
Oh, that's beautiful. 18 years ago, I became a mom for the first time. So W3 was something I needed at the time. And I was not looking for a job. I was looking for somewhere to go to find myself after being a new mom. So I went to Tinley Park. I met with Sherry.
Shout out to my mama.
Hey, Mama Bear. And at the time, they were having a management course that I thought I would be great at. And I'm one of the managers still here today, 17 years later.
And what do you think, like, what really drew you to the job or aspects of it?
I think at the time it was more of helping women because I needed my help myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I was looking for that.
Yeah, I think there's something empowering about helping others and how it makes you feel.
Especially women. We go through so much and we need the help and the guidance.
Totally. I would say after 18 years that you are quite the expert in working with women. I mean, every day, obviously, you have in-depth conversations with women, whether they're coming in for the first time or they've been a member a while, they're struggling to see results or struggling to come back after a time off or whatever it might be. And so through those conversations, I'm sure that you have learned a lot.
I have.
Yeah.
Yes.
And have a lot of really great insight into what works, what doesn't, what motivates, what causes, what helps women take action versus what keeps them stuck in saying, I don't have time, or really ultimately like they're just not making it a priority. After brainstorming, we said, okay, let's narrow this down to 5 takeaways because there's a lot. First one, you mentioned to me about staying consistent and why it's everything. So let's start with consistency. Why do you think it's the real key for women, especially long term?
Well, I think if you stay and build consistency, it helps you develop more of a discipline and more of a routine, just like doctor's appointments and scheduling, back to school stuff. You have to make yourself a priority and stick to a routine. So you have that consistency because it's not, it's good for today. It has to be good for every day.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just now. You have to build that. And that's where it starts, making yourself the priority.
How do you build habits that last?
You got to do small habits. Something small, a little bit goes a long way. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be your way. It can be my way. It's just a little bit of movement every single day will build that. so you can continue to work on yourself, whether it's mental, whatever goals you have. This is your journey. So it doesn't have to be perfect. Just start.
Yeah. I feel something that I like to tell all of our new members is that, because I like to see, like, well, how motivated are you
Yeah,
on a scale of 1 to 10? But sometimes that's a hard question
it
to
is.
answer in the beginning because they're here for a reason. They want to be really motivated. But to answer that question, it's like they want to say 10, but they know it's hard to be a 10 right away, especially when you don't know what to expect. You don't know how to get started. And so I say, well, is it fair then to say, if we help you get a little bit of results in the beginning, that's what's going to help you get motivated and stay motivated at that 10 out of 10 level? And most often they're like, yeah,
Of
I
course.
think results breeds motivation.
Yep. And you have to find that within yourself. What is the motivating factor? What is your why? Why did you start? Why do you want to start? And why do you want to continue?
Mhm.
And then go from there.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So speaking of these small changes that lead to lasting results or big wins, that I think was your second one, right?
that is my
Like your
second one.
second theme, the little things, the small adjustments in a woman's day or week that really add up. So do you have any examples of that?
Yes, just like start walking, you have everybody has a smartwatch nowadays. So if you're trying to hit a number of steps, creating a meal for the day, even if it's for dinner, creating that habit or just drinking more water, it's just the little things. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be a tweak in your daily activity.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'll let you introduce the third one. What is the third one in your eyes?
The third one, the build confidence.
Mhm.
Is that what you have?
Sure.
I have them build the confidence. I feel like you just said, if somebody starts seeing the results, they build more confidence within themselves. Do you want to look good with workout clothes or do you want to look good?
Mhm.
You know? So it's all about that confidence and it builds self-esteem.
Mhm.
And as a woman, it's very important because it's empowering.
Something we describe often is when you feel strong and confident in the gym, it leads to strength and confidence outside of the gym.
Yep. And everything else.
And I think it's really cool when you see the change in someone, whether they come in smiling more often or because they always leave smiling. That's
Yes.
a for sure.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
But come in walking a little taller and
Hmm.
just that they carry it. They carry themselves differently. It's really cool to see.
Especially when somebody notices that they're
Mhm.
making those changes for themselves because you look healthier, your face is glowing, they get a compliment and they run with it. And that's beautiful because you want that. You want somebody to acknowledge. And as we want that validation that I'm doing something right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, and that it's working.
Yeah.
Because that's yeah,
Yeah.
you don't wanna invest your time in something that's
Mm-mm.
not gonna get you those results.
I mean, it's not right away. It's got to take
Mhm.
some time.
That should be a theme,
Yep.
I think.
Yeah.
One
It
of the
takes
top
time.
5
Takes time.
takeaways, right.
We have a process for everything. This takes
Mhm.
time.
Totally. What about this idea about and I know I have seen it time and time again, like, the more the better, like, in terms of quantity over quality, whereas I
As far
feel
as your
it's
workout,
quality over quantity, and people
agreed.
have this mindset of needing to do 60 minutes or it's an all or nothing. I think that was one of your takeaways was
Agreed.
it doesn't need to be all or nothing, right?
Nope. It doesn't have to be a 60-minute workout. It could do a 30-minute strength because you can go for a walk later or park a little further and then get your steps in. But a 30-minute strength can give you that boost and it's effective, more effective, if not more effective than a whole hour workout. You're
Absolutely.
targeting every muscle and all you need is 30 to 45 minutes. That's
Mhm.
all you need.
And I think that is more manageable in someone's mind coming in and telling them, you just need to start with something smaller. You can do 30 minutes or 40 minutes and it can be really effective versus like a daunting process of like, well, I got to be here at least an hour.
I don't
But
have
you
an hour.
don't.
Yeah, you don't. But
Yeah.
you have 30 minutes a day.
Let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen a couple
Yeah.
times a week.
How do you see in that just going back to the confidence part and like connection, how do you see the power of community within that in terms of how it helps people, women in particular, stay committed to their goals?
We need somebody to, lean on, somebody that's facing maybe not the same struggles, but you know why she's here, or you built that rapport with other women, and it keeps you motivated in the sense like, okay, if she can do it, and she's a busy, 9 to 5, and a mom of three, then I can make some time for myself. So that community relates back to no excuses.
Mhm.
It's just I'm gonna be the priority. You see that. She made herself the priority. She's here today. She's here today. There's other things that you could have done on your time. Time is precious, but you prioritize yourself. So that community base is huge because you surround yourself with it and it feeds off in a very positive way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for our listeners, we took a lot of time brainstorming the quote that we're going to have in English and in Spanish on our new mural wall at the Berwyn
That's
location.
right.
And we settled, I think, on because it's literally being painted probably as we speak. But it's going to say, surround yourself with a community who believes in you.
Oh, wow. That's powerful.
It
In
is
Spanish?
in Espanol.
Oh,
Yep.
perfecto.
In English and in
Perfect.
Spanish. Yeah. It's so important. And my vision for that is that someone walks in feeling down, feeling like they finally got the motivation to walk through our doors because
Which is very hard.
it's hard for the first time. You're well, whatever age, and you've never worked out before and you have these goals and you don't know how to go about them. You're looking for help and you walk in and you see this mural of women doing different things, diverse women, and whatever language, English or Spanish, hopefully that you speak, and you see this and it's just like, oh, that's what I can get here.
And not only that, you're looking at this beautiful mural, but then you see it actually live.
Mhm.
You see all the women doing so many different things, and they're doing a training session, and you're like, I can see myself here.
Mhm.
I'm comfortable here. I can do this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, it comes to life.
It
You see
really
it in the
does.
mural, but then it's like, but it's also right in
Oh,
front of me.
that's what they're all doing.
Yeah,
I could do that.
yeah. So, yeah, what you said about that in working out women just like you with really similar goals, overcoming obstacles to make it in that day, it's powerful.
Yep. That's why I was like, thank you for your time. Or what brought you in? What was the motivator factor? Because there was a lot of things you could have done, but you chose to do something for yourself today. Today. Because yesterday you said today. So today you actually did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that encompasses a lot, but I think on another one you mentioned about building endurance. Can you tell me more about
And I got
what
that
that
from a coach.
encompasses? Mm.
Yeah. And like, again, you don't know that somebody's why they do something. So a coach told me that with her health issues that she has and her family, endurance is very important. But endurance for her was different than my endurance. My endurance is for me to keep up with my 3 kids, active kids, right? Her endurance is to deal with her medical, to be able to do herself and be happy and be healthy and feel great. And I didn't know her why.
Mm.
And that's the endurance for her to cope and deal with and handle more. That's what she said. Handle more. This is my endurance. And that was deep for me because I didn't know that. So
Mhm.
that was very powerful.
And ultimately, it's really just everyone is such an individual.
Yes.
And that's why I always ask people if someone tells me that their goal is to feel better,
Mm.
well, I need you to qualify that for me. To you, feeling better is your endurance looks like this, but her endurance looks like that. And it can be two totally different things just based on what their baseline is.
Yeah, feeling better for someone who said that to me would be feeling better. I don't need to take any medication for me to feel better because exercise is a natural. It's giving me that stimulation I need naturally versus me taking
Mm-hmm.
something. And that's very powerful because that's her happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Not having to take something to be able to deal with her health issues. Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
We're going to throw some bonus ones out there because we hit those five. So to just kind of recap what those are, we have staying consistent. Your why is your everything.
Yes.
Little changes lead to big wins.
Hmm.
30-minute workouts go a long way. The importance of building confidence and connection and building endurance, and the importance of it and how that affects you as an individual. I love these last two. I'm going to break it into two
Okay.
because I find them to be different depending on how you look at it, which is that it's not about a competition.
Yeah.
And then also, I want to touch on how we get caught up in social media. So, the competition thing, what I meant by breaking it up is that it could be competition among whomever, friends, family in the gym
Hmm.
or within your immediate circle,
Hmm.
and then also social media. So, we'll leave the social media thing out. Let's talk about competition among your immediate friends or family. We have seen this. So, I love to
Yeah.
hear what you have to say about it.
Well, it could be good competition you push me because we push
Mhm.
each other to do more
Mhm.
because your expectation is so high. Or it could be, discouraging. But healthy competition should motivate you to want to do more. And it doesn't have to be perfect and it doesn't have to be your way. It's just do what you can with what you have now because of your abilities. And that's big in itself. And you have to respect that.
To piggyback off of that is it's not about what the girl next to you
Just
is lifting,
lifting. No,
you
especially if they're
know?
no,
How what the speed is on her treadmill
no.
versus your treadmill. The awesome thing is that you made it that day and that you're doing what you can with how you feel.
And you're actually doing it. So you're doing
Mhm.
it. That's the key.
Yeah,
Getting it done. That's it.
yeah. I love the competition, and I always thank the members who get really involved and the staff
Yeah.
in our challenges because that's what makes it really fun, and that type of competition I think is
That's fun.
awesome.
Yeah.
But when it becomes kind of like that negative side of it, it's like it's not about you versus them. It's you versus you. We
It's you
we used to have
versus you.
necklaces, right, and
Hmm.
keychains that said that.
Yeah.
So that's important to remember. And then what about the social media side? What would you say to a woman who's getting caught up on what she sees on social media?
Or you see someone who's lifting a lot or going really heavy and trying to do a max rep or something like that. That's something that she may see and get discouraged because she says, I can't do that. It's literally getting started. And social media can only show one way. You don't ever see anything behind the scenes. You don't ever see anything behind what is actually real. So it doesn't have to be anything that you see on TV, anything you see on Instagram or Facebook, anything. No, it's just you getting some movement in your body and adjusting every single time you do.
Mhm.
That's it. Don't see because you don't see the back end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and if you're speaking of, like, influencers or
Yes, because it
people.
was edited.
Right.
Yes. So
And it's the
no.
highlights.
Exactly. We didn't
Yes.
see what happened in the back.
Right.
No, you only showing me what I want to see,
Right.
or you only showing me what you want me to see.
Yeah.
I'm not
It's
seeing everything else.
the
The nitty
10
gritty.
minutes
Yeah.
that they're made up and
Yep.
looking perfect that day, but,
And
like,
I did
did you see
two
all the other minutes?
reps. Nope.
Yeah, right.
And I did those two perfect.
Yes,
No,
exactly.
no.
Exactly. Are there any other takeaways that you wanna mention that we didn't talk about yet?
I think it's just getting started. Another takeaway would be just be respectful with your space and your time. Your journey is yours. Nobody can take that away from you. That's a big one, especially when you get started. Whatever keeps you going, that's your journey.
What would you say to someone who's thinking about giving up?
Then why did you start? Remember why you started. Remember what was your motivating factor for you to start, for you to look into fitness, for you to look into yourself and make time. And you invested all that time already. Not that you're going to lose it. Muscle has very great memory, but why would you not want to continue to be healthy and build that endurance? Because every single day is a change, especially as we go through women. We have so many life cycles.
Mhm.
It's never ending. It seems like I'm in a stage right now on this. And it's like, yeah, I need to continue for this part of my life now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, on my last podcast we just launched a few days ago, I asked something I'm gonna ask you in a couple minutes, which is what does being a strong woman mean to you in every or in this phase of your life? And she
Mm.
said exactly what you said, which is that it changes.
Yeah, we
It
did.
changes with the phases. That's what brings about new and great things in every phase, you know?
Hmm.
So I guess since I already brought it up, let me ask you, what does being a strong woman mean to you in this phase of your life?
Well, something that we didn't touch and we didn't bring up, which was mental clarity, mental awareness. And I think that's where I'm at now. I'm strong physically, right? But I need to be strong mentally to cope with whatever is being thrown my way. So that is important for me right now. And that's why I continue this journey for myself for mental awareness and mental health.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we don't talk about that enough.
We don't,
Yeah.
and it's something that was never talked about when you started 18 years ago or when you were a member of women's workout
In the
world
90s?
in the
Yeah.
90s. Did would
96,
did
97, I was a member.
yeah,
Yeah.
did anyone talk about joining for mental health or
No,
mental clarity?
no.
Mm-mm.
I didn't realize until 2020
Mm,
about mental
mm,
awareness and mental clarity and
yeah.
mental health.
I know you joined because there was a cute trainer that worked there, right?
Yes, it will.
He
Mhm.
was cute.
Very,
Yeah.
very much. But I was
Just
in a different
kidding.
I was in a different stage. I was trying to build muscle and be confident with myself. I
Mm-mm.
was very, very thin and very uncomfortable. That's why I joined. And that's what I mean about going through different stages. If you would have asked me a year ago, it would have been to be stronger, to be stronger, to be able to lift, get off, and not be in pain as I'm trying to walk throughout the day.
Yeah.
And it was not being in pain. And now it changes every single time.
Yeah. Changes yearly,
Yeah. Yeah.
know?
This was a year
Could
ago.
change day to day.
Yeah.
Well, and kind of speaking about that, if you could go back and talk to your day one self or a woman who's just thinking about starting her journey, what would you say to her?
Wow. I would tell her not to stop because as we all go through roller coasters, it's okay. We all go through roller coasters when it comes to our diet, when it comes to our life. But exercise, since we know that it has so many benefits, I would tell her not to stop. And if I needed a break, it's okay to take a break. Take a break, but not a month break, It maybe this is why we have off days, maybe take a weekend off and
Yeah.
then continue because as I now know these phases, this would only make it easier. It would only be easier.
Yeah.
It doesn't get easier. You just get stronger. Yeah.
I like that. I would tell her not to stop. I wanna send that to I'm thinking of a few people who I know the summer can be really brutal in terms of
I stopped because of that.
schedule changes
Because
with
of my kids. Yeah.
and just I get it. It's crazy, but that doesn't mean you should stop completely. You just
You tweak.
adjust.
Yeah. You
And you
tweak.
just know that
Mhm.
phases, seasons of life, seasons of the year where it's not going to be as easy, but that's where those habits come in. That's why it's so nice to build those habits in times of the year where it might be slightly easier and never saying it's easy because it's not, but slightly easier to where you can build that consistency and just let that help carry you through the times where it's just really tough.
Especially if you're looking at your phone, everything's on your calendar.
Yeah.
You can just say, okay, these 3 days are easier. Those are the days that you want to focus on yourself. This is why you schedule yourself in. You pencil yourself in your phone as well if you need to make that time.
Yep.
But you don't stop. You may come twice a week this week, but you were here. And then next week it might be better,
Yeah.
depending on what your schedule is.
Yeah.
But you don't stop. You continue, even if it's once a week.
Yeah.
You do something.
Movement is life.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it every podcast, I swear. But movement is medicine, movement's life. And it should be a non negotiable. I'm not saying you need to go all out crazy hard workouts 5-6 days a week,
Right.
because I don't believe that you should do that. I do think you should strength train 3 times a week. If you can. And
Right.
if you can't, then twice,
Yeah.
you do what you can, you do 30 minutes, whatever it is that you can squeeze in, but it shouldn't be something that you give up. It should be something that you do make a priority daily in
Yep.
some form or fashion.
I had a member today tell me, if I don't do it, who's going to do it for me? I was like, nobody, because I can't work out for you. I got to work out for myself.
That's right.
But yes.
True that. Yeah. But you could find a community or a group environment if that is what motivates you in some capacity, whether it's group training or group fitness, to hold you accountable and motivate you to go, right?
And keep it consistent.
Yeah. I'm going to throw in a takeaway. It just came to mind.
Yeah.
The importance of relationships in fitness. And it kind of goes with the theme of connection. But I think that people stay committed longer when they build those relationships, whether it's with a staff member, instructor, coach, or it's with the other members working out next to them. But if you know that you're going to see people that you really enjoy being around at the gym at that time, and you kind of feel like skipping that day or something comes up that makes it a little bit more challenging, some type of obstacle, you're going to overcome it a little easier when you've got something that is really enjoyable on the other side.
And you don't want to let me down since you want to see me every day or something
Right.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get to work out with you today. I get to. You get to do it. A lot of people can't. You get the opportunity today and tomorrow, God willing tomorrow, but you have that opportunity to get it done. Yeah.
So whether you're just starting out or restarting for the 10th time, I hope these takeaways remind you that you don't have to be perfect, just consistent. Come train with us at W3 Body or share this episode with a friend who needs a little encouragement. See you next time. Thanks for tuning in to Real Women, Real Results. If you loved this episode, be sure to follow the podcast and leave a review. It helps more women find these powerful stories. If you're local and want to join our gym, check out our 4-week trial. Head to train@w3body.com for more info. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram, w3body_Berwyn and w3body_Elmhurst for more strength, support, and community. See you next time.